Welcome everybody to the 2024 season Week One MWFL recap show. Let's get right to it, starting with, gotta go with our defending champion, and that is about to make a name for myself, which you already did, Jacob. He loses a very tough game, 198 to 158. Starting with the defending champ, Jaden Daniels, outstanding performance, 27 points, over 260 combined yards, and I love the 2 rushing touchdowns. When it comes to fantasy, that's a great start. He had over 80 rushing in that game. Another strong performance, Ford, 18 points. Now, on paper, you go, hey, that's a solid game. We said in our fantasy show he was a gamble, but he did get that last-second touchdown that did make his team look a little more respectful. The clown performance for his team, Dalton Kincaid, only 2 points. A.J. Brown, 28 points, 5 catches, over 100 yards, and a touchdown. A-Chain, he continues to be a hot performer from last year, 24 points, over 100 yards, and a touchdown. Christian Kirk, only 4 points, but when you drop 198, you're okay with that, but that was his clown performer. On to our next game, and that is our newcomer. Welcome, EJ. We talked about this on the podcast. What an unfortunate set of circumstances. When you score 128, you hope your opponent drops 200. Mario wins 135 to 128. Mario less than 2 seasons away from his championship, so we got to give that guy some respect. Patrick Mahomes, 19 points, 290 yards with a touchdown. Diggs, he only had 6 catches for like 30 yards, but the key factor was he has 2 touchdowns. Amon-Ra St. Brown, only 5 points. That is one of the shockers of the week. He only had single digits all last year, and he happened to have one today. Josh Allen, 32 points. Monster 4-touchdown performance. That alone carried Mario to the victory as he had 32 points. Chris Godwin, very good game. 8 catches, 80 yards, and a touchdown for 22 points. Amari Cooper, clown performance of the game. That's Amari. He'll go next week, he'll go for 60. You can never figure him out, but only 3 points. That whole Browns team, other than Ford, was bad. On to our next performance, and that is our highest scoring game, as well as highest scoring player of the week. That is Brian with a 204 victory over Elijah, who dropped 146. Respectable against monster performance. Joe Mixon, 33 points, 178 total yards, and a touchdown, proving that he is not washed. Great player for the Texans. Tyreek Hill, fresh from his arrest and cuffing, 33 points, 130 yards, and a touchdown. Hopefully he gets arrested next week and he can keep that going. Sam Laporta, 8 points, not bad, but you expected more in a game like that on primetime. Let's get to Elijah, Tua, 27, Aaron Jones, 19. Good game for him. Elijah had no bad players, but the key is he only had one great player, and that was Tua at 27. Everyone else was solid, 19, 14, 12. Nobody you looked at said, hey, you know what? That's a clown performance. But Laporta, you might even say that for Brian. Not too bad, but big win for Brian. On to our next game, and that is Nick. Discount double check. He gets a 160 to 158 victory over my team. Barkley drops 40 points, 3 touchdowns in the losing effort for my team. Xavier Worthy, I'm so excited to keep watching him. He's not going to do that every week, but you never know what he'll do. 2 touchdowns, 1 rushing, 1 receiving. DK continues to be so tough to play. That's why I put him on the trade block. Only 5 points. He'll go for 40 next week. On to Nick's team, Mike Evans, 23 points, 2 touchdowns. The guy still shows he is not done playing. Monster game for that whole Bucs offense. Montgomery with a huge overtime touchdown and 90 yards. He could not be stopped. 16 points. The clown performance, Marvin Harrison Jr., only 1 point. We got to think week in and week out he's going to hit double digits, if not in the 20s. But rookie game, and Kyler Murray, like we said in our podcast, missed him for a monster touchdown that would have won the game possibly for Arizona and really helped Nick get a bigger win than he did. On to our next performance, that is Cuckoo Cucaracha, 184 to 122 over Eric, and he pulls up shades of comedy with Funky Cold Medina as Jose came up. Let's get Eric's team out of the way. Jalen Waddle, great performance, 109 yards, 22 points. Isaiah Pacheco, not bad. 15 points. We said that. That's what Pacheco is. He might drop a 20 here and there. For the most part, he's going to be a solid RB2. 78 total yards and a touchdown. Joe Burrow, he should have had a touchdown pass, but other than that, he did not deliver. Nobody expects Burrow to be single digits, let alone 8 points at home against the New England Patriots. Tough loss for Eric. Lamar Jackson, 33 points. Gigantic opening game against the Chiefs. Cooper Kupp, 14 catches and triple-digit yards with a touchdown as he goes for 38. Look for that to continue as long as Puka is out. Clown of the game, Gerard Bourne, only 4 points. Doesn't matter. He destroyed his opponent. Dino Dan, our final game of the week, wins 173-101. I told you, Dino, you didn't have to worry about benching your Packer player because Walker, thank you, K9, went for 25 points. I said he would bust a big game, at least 20 points. He did. He is an RB1. He is a top 10, over 100 yards and a touchdown. Baker Mayfield, Cleveland's going, bring back Baker. Let's do some Progressive Auto commercials. 32 points and 4 touchdowns. Only he and Josh Allen did that. Outstanding performance. No clown players for Dino. His roster looked good. Deebo Samuel, 18 points with a touchdown. Purdy, only 12. Evan Ingram, huge clown performance, only 1 point. We said in the podcast, all tight ends were awful other than Kyle Pitts. So tough loss for Steve. Those are the losses you prefer because you know you're not going to get that every week. He'll look to bounce back next week. But Dino Dan, Christian, Austin, and Brian all look like legit contenders. Possible playoff teams. We'll see how it goes. Our star players of the week, you could see Barkley drop 40. Look at Austin. Austin's got 1, not 2, but 3 top players, including Mason with 29 points at the end. Brian, he's got Mixon with 33. Tyreek Hill 33. And Anthony Richardson 29. So you see the guys. Dino has 1. I have 1. Mario has 1. That's it. Look out for those top teams, guys. They're scary. Get your waiver wire in. Have a great week, and we'll see you week 2. Peace.